Oh, hang on. We're live. I've got to
We are
even,
live.
yeah, I've got to share the link with the guys. So I haven't even shared the link with the guys
Otherwise,
on
we won't have
the,
anyone watching.
yeah, I'll just quickly share this in the group and then they can jump on. So let me just do that. I always forgot. Um, Yeah, no, didn't realize because we were having a chat before, and then we just realized. Okay, so anyway, so we're so the link should be in the Discord for you guys now. Plus, I mean, we these are going live anyway, so there will be people watching this. Um, you know, off, not in the group as well. Um, so welcome everyone. This is the Hunter X Crypto Academy. We do this every Sunday, and it's just a way for you guys just to touch base with everyone and um, chat about the week and we come on. We haven't got a lot to talk about. We usually just talk about ourselves. But if we have got people come on, then obviously we're here there to talk about whatever questions you have and all that. So if you do have any questions, yeah, come on these every Sunday. We have them at 6 p.m. Um, Bangkok, Thailand time, or 9 p.m. Eastern Australian Standard Time, and you better figure out wherever that is in your time. But anyway, yeah, it's been for me, it's been a pretty quick week. It's gone pretty fast because of I don't know. It's just so many stuff happening. I don't know. It's just for me, it's gone fast. What about yourself, Garth? How's your week been?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's when you get old, things go quicker. I'm not sure. Like when you're a kid, it was like forever. Things take forever. But as an adult, it's now 22nd of January. Like we're nearly into February, surely. It's crazy. It's just funny. And time goes by. So, yeah, it's been very busy this week. Trying to think of anything interesting that's happening. I don't know. The kids are going back to school right shortly, and if you go down like to the shops, like I don't know, you may not know Office Works, right? Remember Office Works,
Yep, yep.
which is here where they sell stationery and stuff like that. Well, this is the time when they buy back to school because the kids are going back to school very shortly. And I kid you not, if you go anywhere near a one of those shops, it's insane. Like the car park is full, is overflowing with cars going in and out, and you can barely get into them. And then when you get in there, it's just full on to the wall. It's just kids and parents, and they're trying to buy all the stuff. It's like this little window of opportunity where the schools give them the list of all the things they've got to buy, and then it's just mass go out and buy it. It's fascinating. So it's kind of like the schools like say, okay, here's your list. Now you got to buy it, right? It's like this forced demand. So whatever's on the list, they got to go buy. It's it's crazy, and yeah, Office Works is cleaning up because I think they're really the only biggest one I can think of for back to school. I mean, there might be some others, but yeah, so they clean up because the government and schools say, hey, this is what you got to do, and this is the book list, and this is what you got to buy. So that's fascinating. So sort of retail is, I suppose, is busy. Yeah, what else was busy today? I went to Bunnings, the hardware store. That was busy today, and also Costco. It was busy. It was the amount of traffic was insane. That joint. This is over at North Lakes on the Brisbane North side. So yeah, it's interesting. Things are starting to, I suppose, tick back up in sales. I think with the economy. I've also heard that where I can't confirm this, but I've heard that we're getting hundreds of thousands of new immigrants every month coming back into the country now. So I think our, politicians are relying on bringing, the money into this country by bringing immigrants into the country. I think that's their plan, because if you bring more immigrants into the country, then you got a bigger tax base and you can charge, you're getting more tax, more GST, more whatever. So, yeah, and the consequences, I believe, of that is that, like, for real estate, there's a real problem and demand, which I have talked about before. Like, and we know personal friends and family that can't get rentals or getting kicked out of their current leases because the rents are being, put up. So it's a common, like, we've heard it so many times where the lease is due and they're forcing it up, and it doesn't go up by $20. They're putting it up like $100 or $150 a week,
But
or
isn't there like
$200.
aren't they allowed to only do so much? Like only a certain amount of
Well, I
like
think they use some loopholes. They used to have, like, a certain increment, but once they get you off the lease, they can re-put the new. They can then put out a new lease at whatever price they want. So they're basically kicking people out and then putting new leases in with way higher. And also, I've heard that the agents are doing it, and it's not necessarily the owners that are doing it, because the agents have the most to win because they get a cut. So if they increase the rents, they're getting a higher percentage because they're percentage based off their fees. So every time they put the rents up, they're making more money as well. So, and of course, real estate prices have gone up, quite extensively. So there's a lot going on with the real estate. I'm not sure how long it's going to keep going, but I suppose if the demand, if they can't keep building enough places, like if you go and try and get a rental now, there might be 30 or 40 people in the queue at the rental for the inspection. So it's very difficult to do it. So yeah, and this has happened. I'm sure it's happened in a lot of other countries and a lot of other places. So it is interesting. So that was sort of any other news I found out was that's right, in Davos we've got the I think World Forum. There's some special thing over where all the big wigs get together over in Davos, and they're basically the guys that control everything in the whole world. They're having a little meeting over in Davos at the moment. And also Prime Minister from New Zealand, she resigned, I think the last week. So that was, well, I think she's, obviously there's no crisis right at this moment, but she's went through a few crises and decided to leave when the going was good, I suppose. But yeah, she's left. Yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know too much about that. All I know is, yeah, she shut down New Zealand with COVID at the time for like, I think 30 days or more. I'm not sure. It was a little while. And there's a few other issues she had to deal with. But yes, she's since gone. But this is the thing. Politicians come and go. But, whatever they make decisions at the time, people have to live with that afterwards, even after they leave.
We pay them. I mean, she was the one that was doing that, pushing that China thing as well when they were making agreements with China, which weren't in the interests of Australia. And then there was this uproar with Australia and New Zealand. And New Zealand said, "Oh, we need China." And, yeah, I remember that. But yeah, it's all good. It's all just stuff that look. This stuff here, I mean, it's life, and you got to deal with it. But I mean, this stuff doesn't really directly impact us. It just indirectly does, kind of. I mean, it just happens, and you just have to deal with the stuff. All the stuff that's crypto, all the stuff that I'm talking about, and happening everywhere. It's indirectly going to affect us. Sometimes more directly than others, but look, don't worry about it too much. But like, I'm referring to crypto stuff, all the shit that we hear on the news. Don't worry about it too much. Just keep focusing on what you're going to focus on. But so what we're going to talk about today, I've got talk about a project that probably one of the better, I would say probably one of the best NFT projects out now, because a lot of the NFT projects have failed. All right. And I've actually been in this project since the beginning, but I didn't really talk about it because it was very kind of touch and go at the time, and I didn't want to tell anyone about it because if it kind of fell over, it could have just like the rest of them do. But it's come good. So I think it's about time to have a bit of a chat about it. Plus, they're having their second series round, right? So it's a very unique project. Let me just find it, and I'll tell you all about it. So I did invest in the early round, so I was a early investor with this one. But let me just go to the announcements.
And how long's the project been around for?
I think it started like November last year. November last year. So now they've bringing out a new series round. They're really starting to get the attention of the NFT world. All right. So that's why I thought, you know what, I might as well. Obviously, there's a risk to it, and I'll talk about the risks in a second. Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's called Canafox. It's a pretty unique project. It's an NFT project. And basically, what they do in a nutshell is they have NFTs that you can buy, and then every round of NFTs is like they take the money and they invest that into building these what you call them, containers. All right. Now these aren't normal containers. These are containers that they grow marijuana or cannabis in, and because now in Thailand cannabis is legal, and I'll talk about why you should be concerned about that. Currently, that's legal. Okay, so these are the actual boxes they're building. So they're going to do like a they grow it in like in a what do you call it, controlled environment. You know, like a bit like hydroponics, but they're basically the grow is going to be inside, so they can control all the things with the crop temperature, you know, all the shit, you know, to grow it, make a good yield. And then what they do is then they sell that crop to a company that buys it off them, and then gives them the money, and then that money that they get, they pay the people that have the NFTs. So, so it's a very unique project. Here, you can see here they're building out their containers, and it's in Thailand, right, where I live. And this is the grow. Yeah, so these are the part of the grows now. So they've already started this. This crop is going. It's going to be harvested in March. So the people that hold the NFT in March will get a part of this profit. All right. And so these are the plants they currently got. So they're based in Bangkok, and you can see here they're building out their containers here. And the good thing about this mob here is they're fully doxed. Okay, they're called Canafox, and I'll put a link to the Discord. They're not very big. They're very small. You can see here how much they've raised. But this is still a very young project. All right, but you can follow them on Twitter. They're starting to blow up, and it's still very, very new. So I've been following the progress over this for the last 2 or 3 months, and I'm quite surprised. They're doing well, and they're building it out, and you can see the people here. That's the guys that run it. Okay, so they're expats in Thailand, and they got a guy that comes in that's an experienced grower that's running the show, and then they've got all the other people. So check it out. It's definitely something to think about if you're interested in passive income and buying an NFT, which you can buy the NFTs on their website. All the information that you can read in the Discord. That's kind of like the best place to get all the information, because it shows you the roadmap and kind of like what each one entails. And if they don't make the full, if like something happens to the crop, they'll and they don't make that return or something, they'll give you. This is all on the website, by the way. They give you like a guarantee of, I think it's $340 in the first 12 months. But like I said, you can see all this stuff. It's in the Discord and it's on the website. But the thing is, they're having another round. They're building out 10 more containers, and it's happening like fairly soon. So if you're interested in this project, you might want to check out their latest AMA, or they're having the new AMA on the 27th of January. Like I said, there's only like 300, 400 people in this. Okay, so let's just talk about the risks. It is a very unique project because obviously, cannabis is now legal in Thailand, and they've already spent quite a bit of money. I think they raised like 300,000 or something, and they've already spent their money to build out the containers to then grow the cannabis to then sell. And I asked them, how does the NFT work? The NFT, you get the NFT, and then as long as you hold the NFT, you get a profit of every container. So every container that they grow, they reckon that they can get between 2 to 3 crops a year. And so as long as you hold that NFT, they'll continue to, once they get the first harvest, they'll just harvest that, divvy up the profits, take whatever they need to expenses and taxes and whatever the case may be, give the profits to the NFT holders, and then they repeat that process. Then they grow another batch of, and I asked them, well, how long does it go for? And he goes, it doesn't stop. It's just every time they get a new batch, as long as your NFT belongs to that container, then you will get the profits. So, it could run for however long, right? So this is the risk that I want to talk about. Right now, the government that is, look, it's a long story, okay? But what happened was, in Thailand, they legalized cannabis, and this happened last year, and it was a massive thing. So basically, there's no longer illegal, right? So they released like 5,000 people in jail that had fairly minor to medium cannabis jail terms. They just released them, and now tourists can come to Thailand and basically smoke marijuana, but not in public. And so it's not illegal anymore. So now this is growing. This is basically just like started this massive industry of growers. Okay, so this is a big, massive boom, and they reckon that it's going to be like a $60 billion, $3 billion industry in a couple of years' time. So it's only small compared to obviously the US and all these other, but the market's still small, but it's growing, right? But here's the problem. The government that pushed the bill through, that and everyone voted on it. Now what's happening is there's the elections that are coming up. So the original guy that pushed it forward, he may not get into, he might not get the votes. Okay. And now what's happening is his party, even people in his party that, signed off on it, because everyone's got to agree in it. You know how the governments work. So many people are going to vote on this side. So many people are going to vote on this side. They all agree. Then the bill goes through, gets signed off, and then it becomes legal, right? It becomes law. It's legal to smoke cannabis and whatever. But now the problem is that these people on both sides of the party, opposite the opposition and the current government, they can't come to an agreement with the cannabis bill, and it's been knocked back multiple times. So here's the problem. If you invest in this project, which I've already done, you could basically lose your money if they don't push that bill through. And and it doesn't get approved the next election. And the next elections, I think it's coming up. Don't quote me, you'll have to Google it. I think it's this year or next year, I'm not sure. But it's a bit ways off, okay? So let's just say they don't approve it and they just backtrack on the cannabis bill, which I really don't know how they could do that, because they've already sold thousands, I'm talking thousands of licenses for people to sell them. So if you come to Thailand, there's literally hundreds of cannabis dispensaries in just Bangkok alone. All right, that's not talking about the whole country. There's thousands of dispensaries. We can just walk into a shop, buy a joint, buy whatever you want, and then go and smoke it in privately, right? Just like you normally would in California or legal states in America. And they've also approved many growers, which the licenses are not cheap, but they're still cheap compared to California and the US. So they paid the big money to get these licenses to grow it, right? So the government has got taxes or made revenue from both dispensaries, people that are legally allowed to sell it, and the licenses from that, and also the licenses from growing, right? They've made millions of dollars, if not billions. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. See, okay, yeah. So the general election is due. Oh, it's not that far away. It's in May. Okay, so it's actually only in May. So what are we now? January, February, March, April, May. It's 4 months away. Okay, so this is the problem that we're facing now. The people that invest in, and there's been millions of dollars that have been invested into the growing of cannabis, both for medicinal and for recreational. If the government turns around and says, "Look, guys, you can't grow this stuff anymore. It has to be only, say, medicinal," which I don't think they're going to squash that, because there's so many benefits, and that's originally why they actually, approved cannabis. The recreational, they might stamp down on. So this is the risk. If you buy this NFT, which is the Canafox, which I just told you about, you could potentially be buying a doormat. It could be worth nothing. But if the cannabis bill goes through, and the next government that gets in, then says, okay, you know what, we're going to just, the genie's out of the bag, we're going to keep everything the same, then obviously that you're good, your investment in that NFT will be good. So it's a risk, and that's the problem. All right, so you obviously I'll put more links on this project and in the Discord, but I think personally, I think it's one of the best projects, and if not one of the best projects ever in NFTs. You buy an NFT.
Well, at least they went and actually bought something with the money. So you know how the rest of them, you get nothing. Yeah, they've actually got the money and went and done something with it, and they've got proof of that, and now they're growing, and soon they'll be harvesting. And as long as they pay out, like they said, and then if the government, if it's favorable with the government next election, I think it's going to take off, because people are going to see that, yes, they're paying, yes, they're legit. Let's throw our money in the next one, next round. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, so they do have a next round coming up now. Just to go in the AMA, and on the website as well as in the Discord, they're fully doxed. So there's no shady stuff. If they were going to do like a dodgy, like most of these NFT projects, why would they dox themselves? Plus they do allow actual factory tours. So you can actually go, if you're in Bangkok and you're an NFT holder, you can actually just get in touch with them, and then you can actually go. Right? If I wanted to, I could go there and suss it all out. They would allow that because I'm an NFT holder. But so anyway, it's just something to think about anyway, because there's so much shady shit that's been going on in NFTs. I mean, I've been looking at that Logan Paul stuff, and that was so shady. I mean, he's just and compared to, it's not fair because the like ones that are kind of like legit, they don't get the exposure because there's hardly no one knows about this project now at the moment. But the ones that are real dodgy and shady, like Logan Paul and all these other ones that we saw, that just took our money. Even that post I talked about, Soul Chicks, right? You got your I think the last airdrop, one of the last airdrops, was in December, late December, right? We got 1,250 Soul Chicks, right? And I looked at it today and I'm like, oh, it's worth 46 cents. You know what? I sold it immediately because it's useless. And there was so much hype about that project, right? They made like $3 or $4 million. Where's the project now? It's worth nothing. The only reason why I was able to sell it is because the fees on Solana allowed me to sell it. That's the only reason. I mean, I wouldn't even bother. It's only like 40 cents, 46 cents. Only because the Solana fees are nothing. That's why I did it. And plus, it's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. And that type of project, play to earn, and all these other ones that we saw in either IDOs or just idea play to earn stuff. That where are they now? It's like this scam. It's like this. It's almost like a legal scam. It's like this. Back in the 1930s or 1940s with the Tea Party, and also with when they had the tulips. They sell the tulips, and the price of the tulips went up, and then people started buying the tulips. The price went up, and then it just dumped. And that's exactly what happened with NFTs. It happened with play to earn games. So that's my point. That's my take on these NFT projects. And if it's not legit, if it's not like docs people, it's not like they're having a real project. And if they are, if they offer passive income, how are they generating that income? Right? What's the means? And that's the thing that caught my eye with Counterfox, is because they're actually taking the profits or taking the money from the NFT sales. They're buying it. They're buying containers to generate to grow the cannabis crop, and then once they sell and there's a massive demand, by the way, for cannabis right now in Thailand. So they'll fetch pretty good prices. You can have a look at the PDF on the website. I think it's at Counterfox something. It shows a breakdown of the PDF, and it basically says that if they sell it at the base price, I think it's 200 baht per gram. It shows you Counterfox.io, okay, and it shows you if you actually read the PDF or the white paper, it'll show you the full breakdown of the numbers. You can see it. Where is it? Yeah, the white paper. Yeah, and then it'll show you the numbers, the breakdown of the numbers, exactly how that works. And that's what kind of like got me interested in the project in the beginning. But again, I didn't tell anyone about it because, it was only like a couple of hundred people in the Discord, and it was so new that it could have just done a runner, or they could have just done something shady and taken everyone's money, but they didn't. So this could be one of the best projects in 2023. Again, if the government, that cannabis bill, if it stays the same, was pushed through, that's the issue. Okay, so this PDF takes a while to download. I think it's quite big, but anyway, you can have a look at it on their website at counterfox.io. Check it out, but just understand the risks with that project. Okay, but that's really a kind of like
cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something unique. Put it that way. That's nothing. It's the first project in NFTs I've seen like this. But that's kind of like I wanted to cover that. Obviously, the price of BTC and everything's going up as well, which is good news. But the price of BTC was 16.5 recently. People on Facebook messaging me and just heaps of stuff. Like I don't understand people. I can't understand if they're going to trade it, but I don't trade it, so there's no point asking me. I got heaps of messages. People, oh, what do you think about PTC? If I hit the bottom, he's hit the bottom. I said, I don't care if I hit the bottom because I don't trade it. You know what I mean? I just accumulate it.
Yeah.
And I just told,
Yeah.
there's a couple of people that always message me all the time. And I just tell them the same thing. I said, just keep on buying it. So, one guy, he messaged me at 16.5 and he said, what do you think it's going to do? What do you think it's going to do? I said, I don't know. I'm just buying it. I said, my advice is just buy it. And he goes, oh, yeah, I might wait. It might drop lower. I haven't heard back from him, but that's 16.5. That was only like a couple of weeks ago, less than a couple of weeks ago. Now it's like 23 or 22. So that's my point, now he's probably going to buy it, right? Because it's up. But
And then it might drop.
Yeah, I don't understand people.
People don't get DCA, right? They just do not get the whole dollar cost averaging. They like to get a big lump sum of money and buy in at the wrong time and then sell out at the wrong time. But if they just bought regularly, it wouldn't matter, because this game is a long game. It's actually bigger than just the trading. It's fiat's dying and crypto is replacing fiat, because it's not, that's the whole issue. We've got inflation with that's happening, the money printing, and that causes your dollar, whatever you have, your currency is devaluing. The way to protect that is like something like, this is why people go with gold, because, it's something where they use it to hedge against things like inflation. But Bitcoin is better than gold because it really is a finite resource, not like gold. So it's interesting, but every time the price goes up, you're going to get those people contacting. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Look, I know we've got there's a lot of stuff there, obviously out there for, people invest in different stuff, right? Assets. Okay. I'm not savvy on that. I'm not a financial advisor on real estate or precious metals or, all the stock market or anything like that. Okay. But these are the different vehicles that people use. And, some of them are good long-term as well. Investing in companies is also good. But what I recently saw on the news was, do you remember Usain Bolt? He's the guy that was got backed by, he was ambassador, to Step App. So Step App's still going, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I didn't invest. I just bought tokens, but I didn't buy any loot boxes. So that's still going, but he's an ambassador. But basically I saw the news on him, and he basically had $10 million in this investment fund. And he recently logged into his account and they had like 9,700 left. And I was like, whoa. So
wow.
This investment fund that was basically, it's one of the big investment funds. I don't know whether it was in Jamaica, or I don't know whether it was an international one or whether it's US based. I'm thinking maybe it was like in Jamaica or something, because they basically took his money and you robbed him. And now he's got like lawyers after the people. But it just reminds me of FTX, and it reminds me of all this other stuff. You put your money, and he's got $10 million there. That's his like retirement, So he's got that money. He put that money and he trusted someone to obviously invest that money for him, and to get gains over time. So then when you retire, you can pull that money out, live off it. And unfortunately, he's probably not going to get that money back. But I mean, he's okay, because I mean he's a celebrity, right? He'll make that money up. But most of us, I mean, if you were down $10 million, it'd be very hard for you to get $10 million back. I mean, you could do it, but if you're not like a big celebrity, or you don't have endorsements, or to have people paying you for appearance fees and stuff like that, it'd be very hard for just the average person to peg back $10 million if you lost it. So it just goes to show you that you put your money into these different investment schemes and investments, portfolios and stuff, and you trust people to manage your money for you. And guess what? It doesn't always work out. So that's the thing where it comes back. I always come back to like Bitcoin, right? with Bitcoin, you don't have to trust anyone. You just have to, obviously, you need to know about Bitcoin and how it works, right? And then if you believe in Bitcoin long term, you don't have to trust anyone. All you need to do is accumulate it. And what Gar said, just keep on buying. You don't even have to do a lump sum. Just keep on buying bits and pieces of it when you can. And in my opinion, it's the greatest investment ever, because you can just do it by yourself. You don't require anyone's knowledge. Just own knowledge that you gain from other people and on the internet. All right. You don't need any financial advisors if you don't want to. You just educate yourself on the Bitcoin protocol, and then just keep on buying the Bitcoin and then putting into like a hardware device where you have control of the keys. All right. Obviously, those keys, obviously put it somewhere safe, and then have someone being able to, like, if you pass away, then they can get access to those keys, and then distribute whatever you got set up. But the thing with Bitcoin is it's an ultimate thing where you can just keep on accumulating. It's just like a piggy bank that keeps on grows, but you don't have to trust anyone. You don't have to trust any third party with your money, like Usain Bolt did. I feel sorry for him, but I mean, he'll recover from that. But it's sad. It's very sad. So just goes back. Just keep on getting your Bitcoin, guys. Now, I think, didn't you want to share something else, Garth?
Yeah. I found some stuff just briefly. Let me just share the screen. Here we go. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So I'll put the link for this one. This one's called Proof of GitHub. So there was one, we talk regularly about another one where it shows like the top, 100 activity for development. So just a quick thing on GitHub. GitHub is like a repository for code, and everything to do with blockchain projects and everything like that is code, and the code gets stored on places like GitHub because it's a public I suppose repository, and this is where all the code goes. So this Proof of GitHub is someone created this called Bagsy, and basically all it does is every day it gives you daily development activity. So 3 hours ago, we can see that Polkadot Kusama had 271 commits. So you can see a little chart, followed by status, and then SUS. Now, I don't even know what ZUS. I don't know what that is, right? I'm like, wow, okay, they're right up there, with this Polkadot, status, and Zeus, or however you spell it, Osmosis, Filecoin, Holo, Cardano, Bancor, Uniswap, Scale Network. If we go yesterday, we scroll down here, Filecoin, Polkadot, status, Cardano, Ethereum, Vega Protocol. So this is just another way of seeing, what developers and what platforms are actually doing development. And this is a daily thing. The other one is like a little bit, I suppose, slower. This one's can really see what's happening. You can see Cardano there, or Cardano, 833 commits. It's pretty huge. So there's a lot going on with some of these ones. But there's some there that you'll go, what the hell is that? So, I don't even know what that one I was just looking at before, which is, ZUS. Let's have a look at that one.
I've never heard of it. ZUS.
No, so this is ZUS. That would be it right there. 928 is the ranking. 19 cents. We'll have a quick look at the chart. Total supply 400,000. Trading volume's quite low. Market cap's like 10 million. Okay, so it's been around 6 cents previously, 3 cents. Wow, went as high as like $2. Now it's back down to like 20 cents. So it's actually higher than what it was originally. But it had quite a big pump there back in April 21. So, but what's interesting is, they're developing, and we've just went through a major bear market and they're still developing. So, And it looks like we have a look. Polygon and Ethereum network. We just click on them and see what they're all about. But this is how you discover stuff. So just by having a look at that one, I'll make sure I put a link in there. Twitter's great because you always find out, new projects that you would never have found before. So it looks like they're going to launch their mainnet, build, earn, DeFi, NFTs. So interesting. So maybe that's their own network. Lightning fast decentralized storage, high performance storage platform. Wonder if it's like Filecoin and some of the others. Store, build, earn. There you go. So maybe it's like a competitor to some of the other ones we've seen. Privacy cloud, and then earn. Okay, cool. And so looks like they've got something there, and they're developing. That's the most important thing. So then all you do is come along and click on Twitter and follow them on Twitter, and then you're going to get all the latest updates from them. So let's follow them. Oh, look at that. SUS was formerly Zero Chain. There you go.
Zero Chain, yeah.
And you earn passive income from storage. Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, they like name changes. But basically found this because have a look at proof of GitHub and we're seeing the activity. And some of these other ones you already know about. But if they continue to do that, that might be a project to have a look at a bit further to see what's going on. And it could be because they're releasing their mainnet shortly. So there's their weekly update there. So interesting. So yeah, it looks like basically
Zero Chain
very
was a bit funny, wasn't it? I followed Zero Chain from the beginning. I think I was in that ICO. They kind of they did all sorts of stuff. Maybe they just sold it off and rebranded it. I don't know the full story, but
okay,
they're still going.
Yeah, but it's to do with storage. Yeah, storage. There you go. So anyway, that's something to have a look at. And the other one, so that was proof of GitHub, which I will drop into the Discord group. Now, also, you may know, well, you follow and I follow Alex Becker. We always like watching Alex Becker. He's quite interesting take on a lot of things. So Alex Becker also follows
like this. You got to talk on the side, mate. You got to talk on the side like this. You can't talk to him. You got to talk to him like this.
I'm gonna put my glasses off. Yeah,
you got to talk on the side. He always talks on the side, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the whole room behind just like dark and there's nothing in it. It's very minimalist. Yeah, he's cool. That guy rocks. Yeah. So Alex Becker put out this thing here. Now, obviously, he's invested in this, so he wants to pump his own projects. So he's met with after meeting with Elliott Trades, which we'll show you in a second, and the team today, I can confidently say that Bytes 2.0 is their most advanced staking NFT community token by a long shot. Okay, cool. 90,000 views on that. He's got a huge audience, as you know, on both Twitter and he's got 847,000 followers. And you can imagine how many people clicked and went through to that one, right? So if we check out Elliott Trades, you'll find Elliott Trades, they're building Superverse DAO, Play Imposters, plus Gigamart NFT, plus Neo Tokyo Code. And Neo Tokyo Code is to do with Alex Becker. However, if we jump in and have a look at Play Imposters, which is this one here, to me, it's like another game I've seen before, but it's like a crypto version of it. And if we click on the link 3, we'll go to their website. You can get a feel for this game. I'm not sure if the game is in beta or it's out yet, but it's a typical play to earn game. Now we know that we're not very excited about play to earn games, but this is interesting because, it's called Imposters. You remember that game where it was pretty big? I don't know if it was called Imposters or not, but it was something similar to it, where they basically, you had to work out who it's like a clue game where you work out who's trying to kill who and all that sort of stuff. It's a big one. Is really big. So they're basically doing play to earn NFT holders and that sort of stuff. And it looks pretty cool. But they got a lot of things going on with it. And what's interesting is the team is the guy that did Super Farm, and he's got 1.2 million followers. Also, blockchain architect guy called Tim Clancy. 30 staff. Okay. 30 staff apparently that are, making this game. And all these people have worked on all these projects: Roblox, Far Cry, Gears of Wars, Pixar Engine. So it's very interesting. I haven't actually played the game. I haven't joined the Discord yet. But my point is that if you do like play to earn games and you want to check it out, the only reason I bring it up is because it's to do with Alex Becker. He's got a lot of people. I mean, even though he's in these projects and he does like to pump his own projects, he's also, I don't know, he doesn't invest in anything that he doesn't think is really going to work out because he's got a lot of money, I suppose. And he always sort of, he's done really well with what he's went into. So I think he's got like a, what would you say? If he says something, he can't sort of like, he's got his reputation on the line. Unlike a lot of, YouTubers, which are crap, I think he's got a reputation. And when he says something like this, he needs it. It's fair income. So yeah, if you're not sure about any of those projects, check him out.
I like Alex Becker. I think he's one of the better guys, not like our little friend Jake Logan Paul, who scammed all these followers with that NFT project, and he got exposed. And apparently, he apologized to CoffeeZilla now. I haven't watched that video, but I mean, so yeah, it doesn't surprise me once. You just got to be careful with these influencers. But I think Alex Becker's he's pretty legit, as legit as you want to call legit, as in influencers. He's one of the better ones out there, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, it could do well. It could do well. Obviously, the people. That's how these things work, guys. They're only as good as the community. If the community sticks together, then the project will go a long way. But if they don't, and they sell and take profits, which is always going to happen, the project dies. So I really think there's still a lot of potential in play to earn and NFTs, but long term, no, definitely no, because you're saying that a play to earn game and an NFT project are going to last 10 years. A game doesn't even last 6 months. So that's, I think that's the Achilles heel with play to earn games, even move to earn. Basically, any game that it is built on the people that are going to earn money, it's a recipe for disaster. It's going to fail, either long term or short term. It's going to fail. The games that don't fail, or they last 10, 15, 20 years, are the games that that actually people pay to play because they love the game, not because they're going to earn money. That's what the game, and they have the money to keep on developing the game. And you've got this law. I'm not talking about people like 1 million people on social media. I'm talking about 1 million players. We're talking a massive games here that have been around for decades. I mean, I play one called Squad. It's been around for over a decade. I didn't even know that. I think it started in 2000. 2000. It was 2010, 12 or something. It's something like that. But it's been around for a long time, and that's a game where you fight other people. So you pick an army, United States Army, Australian Army, whatever, right? insurgents, terrorists, versus, and it's you play this game, and those games are just always going to be popular because it's like a war game, and it's first person shoot, right? So you got this different role, whatever role you have. I might be a machine gun or a grenade, and I've got this gun and I've got these different weapons, and you fight in a squad. It's a full-on game, and millions of people play it, right? So those games will be around for a long time. They'll continue to evolve, and because there's a lot of money, millions of dollars are being spent on it. But then when you look at things like, play-to-earn games, what's really in it? It's just a game that people play, a blockchain game. So many people invest money in NFT. The game goes for maybe 6 months and then it dies. So, as long as you understand that these play-to-earn games, they're very short term, and if you buy into them, flip it, make your money and get out, because at some point it's going to lose its flair, just like these NFTs and like these tokens we did, these IDO tokens. They pump and then you sell and you get out. That's how you deal with it. Definitely. There's definitely a lot of people playing that game. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I play I probably play it longer than more than I should, but I mean, I haven't got many hours up. I've got probably like 100 hours or something, not much. There's guys that I play against and they got like 10,000 hours. I mean, it's crazy. They literally spend all day on it, 24/7. They don't have jobs, and they're really good at it too. So that's what the whole point is this. Just we got to be smarter. We got to be smarter this year, and all this stuff that you're going to see that we're going to see it again. We're going to see it again this year. Most of it's going to be horseshit. All right, I'm telling you now. The stuff that I'm not even going to touch anything with probably NFTs or games unless I really, really like it, or I feel that I can make my money on it. But if I invest in it, it's going to be a flip. It's not going to be. It's like these IDOs. When we got into IDOs, we flipped them. We made really good money on the IDOs, and even the coins, even the tokens. Once the token pumped, because a big project came along, everyone wanted to get into that project, so they had to buy the IDO token to get allocation for that IDO. And then the best time was to sell was when it pumped. Get out of it. So I think that's the lesson, guys. We've got to learn when the money's there, take the profit. There's nothing wrong with that, and then put it into something long term that's going to be around for a long time, and that's Bitcoin. Even Ethereum, okay? Even Ethereum. Ethereum was for 4,500, and it's now 1,600 or 1,400. I can't remember, but even Ethereum would be like your silver, okay? So Bitcoin's your gold, Ethereum's like your silver. Even BNB, like 300, is going to pump. I think we're going to hit $1,000 BNB the next bull run, okay, in my opinion. And all these other layer ones, Solana's getting back up there now. Solana's back up. Polygon's up. I still like Polygon, and all these other ones. But put your money in Bitcoin. Ethereum's the next one, and BNB, in my opinion. You choose you whatever you like, but that's what I'm going for, Bitcoin. All right. But other than that, mate, hopefully we'll have a good year with crypto, because at the moment it's just a shitstorm. And once all this stuff passes, we'll keep our eyes open and our ears peeled. I don't know, our ears peeled and our eyes open, and try to get in some of these new projects. But even some of the long-term ones, the low-cap ones, maybe we might talk about that next week. Do some low-cap gems, which I know everyone likes. So what I'll do is I'll put the show notes. I'll talk about put the links to the one I talked about, was the Counterfox one, which I think is probably one of the best NFT projects. last year and this year, and I'll talk about. So if you want to know about that, I'll put the link for that, and then obviously Garth will put some of the links that he talked about as well. What he talked about, but other than that, mate, unless you've got anything else, yeah, we might.
No, I think
call
that's it. Nothing too crazy. The only I think the only thing really newsworthy this week, just thought I'd mention in case someone didn't know it happened. Maybe they haven't been in crypto, I suppose. But the Genesis went into liquidation. Yeah, bankruptcy. Yep. So there will be ramifications of that. So just be aware of that. But if you're dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, it don't matter, right? You know, whether it drops to 16K again next week, it doesn't matter because you're going to be buying a little bit next week at a lower price. That's why it's called dollar cost averaging. So yeah, it's not a drama. But no, I don't have anything else to add this week. We'll try and find some more projects that are more interesting. But yeah, that's it. What do you got a picture there? Find Bitcoin Beach.
Yeah, this is Michael Sally's did this thing. So this is I don't know whether this is actually in Bitcoin Beach, or this could be in El Salvador, or this could be in Boracay. But it may look like it is in Boracay because Bitcoin Beach, if you don't know, is this thing just on Twitter, and you can have a little more about it. But basically, it's just Boracay, the island, which is a really famous island in the Philippines. They basically named it Bitcoin Beach, and you can, all the vendors can basically use it with Bitcoin Lightning.
Okay.
They're having a retreat. Okay, let me have a look. I'll show you this. So they're having like a retreat, which is coming here. They got here. So if you go to Pouch.php, this is the app, but you can use the Bitcoin Beach app, or you can use, which is a different app. It's confusing. Bitcoin Beach has got an app, right? And this is the one in El Salvador and Colombia and all that. Okay, that's called Bitcoin Beach. Now, this other one here, Pouch.php, they've called that the Bitcoin Island, which is Boracay. Okay, so they're two different ones. They're two different apps, but they work the same. They're on Lightning. Okay, and as I said in a couple webinars ago, Michael Sala, MicroStrategy, are bringing out their own app this year for Bitcoin Lightning. All right, so they're going to push Bitcoin through mass adoption. So this is the retreat. Okay, so this is about Bitcoin Beach. They're having a Bitcoin Island retreat on March the 7th to the 29th. So conventions are about peer-to-peer connections. Let's just do that bit. Okay. So that's going to be cool. This retreat is for Southeast Asian Bitcoiners. Maybe I should go. I don't know. But it's a bit hard right now with COVID to get in the Philippines. But yeah, that's interesting. But at least it's so that's the more about it. So yeah, you can have a bit of a read on that. So that's at pouch.ph, which is the Bitcoin Island app. Okay. So if you have any Bitcoin Lightning app, if you happen to go to Boracay for a visit, for a holiday, you can pay the vendors. There's hundreds of these vendors Bitcoin. Okay, you don't have to pay them pesos. You can pay them Bitcoin. That's the whole point of it, right? So yeah, check that out. But other than that, mate, I'll put all the links below. I'll put them in the Discord for you guys. Can have a look at later. And yeah, thanks for coming on. And yeah, we have another week. We'll probably go pretty fast again. And we always come back every Sunday, 6 p.m. Okay, guys? So yeah, other than that, yeah, have a good week. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Will do. See you guys. Bye.
Catch you guys.